Hello students, I welcome you all to our new YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing synchronous generator and alternators. The topic for today's discussion is introduction and construction of synchronous generators. As we know, AC system has number of advantages over DC system. These days, three-phase AC system is being exclusively used for generation, transmission, and distribution of electrical power. The machine which produces three-phase electrical power from mechanical power a is called a synchronous generator or alternators. These machines are largest energy converters found in the world. An alternating voltage is generated in a coil rotating in a uniform magnetic field with stationary field poles. But an alternating voltage will also be generated in stationary armature conductor when the field poles rotate past the conductor. Thus, we see that as long as there is a relative motion between the armature conductor and the field flux, there will be a voltage generated in the armature conductor. So, the armature will always be the rotating member of the machine is not always true. Rotating machine that rotate at a fixed speed by frequency and number of poles are called synchronous machine. As we know, the formula for synchronous speed is 120 f by p, where ns is the synchronous speed in rpm, f is the frequency of supply, and n is the number of field poles. So, as for a particular machine, the number of poles are fixed, so the synchronous speed largely depend upon the frequency of supply. Now, practically all medium and large machines are always constructed with revolving field and stationary armature. The advantages of stationary armature and revolving field systems are as follows. First, it is easier to insulate the armature winding for very high voltage because insulation of stationary armature is not subjected to mechanical stress due to centrifugal action and high speed, and more space is available on the stator for providing more insulation as the stator is outside the rotor. The load circuit can be connected directly with the fixed terminals of the armature slot without passing through the slip rings or brushes, as the armature is stationary. In case of rotating armature, the load circuit is required to be connected with the armature winding by means of slip ring and brushes, in which case a difficulty is experienced in collection of heavy current at very high voltages. The armature winding can be more easily braced in a rigid frame to prevent any deformation which could be developed by the mechanical stress set up due to the high speed of rotation. The armature winding is cooled more easily because the stator core is made large enough with many air passes and cooling duct for forced air circulation. Now, only two slip rings are required to, to supply direct current to the rotor, and since the excitation current is supplied at very low voltage, for example mostly of 125 volt or 250 volt, there is no difficulty in insulating them. Due to simple, light and robust construction of the rotor, higher speed of rotating DC field is possible. This results in increased output from the machine of given dimension. So, for all these reasons, all alternators above 5 kVA employ a stationary armature and revolving field. Now, let us see the construction of a synchronous machine. Similar to other rotating machines, the alternators are consist of two main parts, the stator and the rotor. The stator is the stationary part of the machine. It carries the armature winding in which the voltage is generated. The output of the machine is taken from the stator itself. The rotor is the rotating part of the machine. The rotor produces the main field flux. Now, let us discuss the construction of the stator. So, this figure shows a stator of a alternator. Rotor is not shown in this picture. So, here we can see a stator frame and the slot for stator windings. So, the armature is an iron ring formed of lamination of special magnetic iron or silicon steels having slots on it, as we can see in the figure. The whole structure is held in a frame which may be of cast iron or welded steel plate. Since the field rotate in between the stator, so the flux of the rotating field cut the core of the stator continuously and causes eddy current loss in the stator. To minimize the eddy current loss, the stator core is laminated. The laminations are or stamped in complete rings for small machines or in segment for large machine and insulated from each other with paper or varnish. Now the stampings also have opening which make axial radial ventilation duct to provide efficient cooling for the stator. So this is all about the stator construction of a of a stator construction of an alternator. Now the armature winding is always connected in star and the neutral is connected to the ground. The reason behind this, the phase voltage, as we know, for star connection, the phase voltage is Vph equal to VL by root 3 and the induced voltage is directly proportional to number of turns. So an alternator with a star connection will require less number of turns as compared to that of in case of delta construction. So now let us see about rotor. So the rotor carries the field winding which is supplied with direct current through the slip rings by separate DC source. Okay, the DC source is generally a small DC shunt or compound motor generally mounted on a shaft of the alternator. We will discuss about the excitation system in the next video. The rotor construction are of two types. The first one is the salient or projecting pole types and the another one is non-salient or cylindrical pole types. So now let us see, the figure shows a salient pole type rotor. In this type of rotor we can see two pair of salient poles. These poles are projected outward from the rotor. This is why they also called projecting pole type rotor. In this type of rotor, salient poles are mounted on a large circular steel frame as shown in figure, which is fixed to the shaft of the alternator. The individual field poles are connected in series such a way that when the field winding is energized by DC exciter, adjacent poles have opposite polarities. Low and medium speed alternators up to 400 rpm, such as those driven by diesel engine or water turbine, have salient pole type rotors due to the following reasons. The salient field poles would cause an excessive windage loss if driven at high speed and would tend to produce noise as they are projected outward from the rotor. The salient pole construction cannot be made strong enough to withstand the mechanical stress to which they may be subjected at higher speed. Now, since the frequency of 50 Hz is required, we must use a large number of poles on the rotor of low speed alternators. As we know, Ns is 120 F by P. Now frequency is fixed 50 Hz. So to get small speed, we need to increase the number of pole. Now low speed rotor always possesses a large diameter to provide the necessary space for the poles. For that, salient pole type rotors have large diameter and short axial length. Here this picture shows a practical image of a salient pole type rotor. Here also we can see that the diameter of the rotor is very large and the axial length is very small. Now let us discuss about the non-salient or cylindrical pole type rotor. So this figure shows a non-salient pole type rotor. In this type of rotor, it is made of smooth solid steel radical cylinders having a number of slots along the outer periphery of the field. The field windings are embedded in these slots as it is shown in the figure. Okay, we can see it. The field windings are slotted, placed in the inner periphery of the slots. It is clear that poles formed are non-salient, that is, they do not project out from the rotor surface. High-speed alternators are driven by steam turbine and use non-salient type rotor because this type of construction has mechanical robustness and give noiseless operation at high speed. The flux distribution around the periphery is nearly a sine wave and hence better EMF waveform is obtained than in case of salient pole type rotors. Now, since steam turbines run at very high speed and a frequency of 50 Hz is required, we need a small number of poles on the rotor of high speed alternators. These alternators are also called turbo alternators. We can use not less than 2 poles and thus fixed highest possible speed for a frequency of 50 Hz is 3000 revolution per minute. The next lower speed is 1500 rpm for 4 pole machine. So turbo alternators or cylindrical rotor type synchronous generator possesses 2 or 4 poles and have small diameter and very long axial length. Very long axial length. So this is all about the construction of a three-phase alternators. In the next video, we will be discussing about the excitation system of alternators.